Today I'm taking a look at SpongeBob's real age. Let's do this. And go.
Everyone treats this dude like he's 8 years old. Patrick calls him a baby. Squidward talks to him like he's explaining things to a toddler. Even his own grandmother still gives him cookies and bedtime stories. But wait, SpongeBob has a full-time job. He pays rent, he owns a pet, he's literally living independently as a functioning adult. You need to be at least 18 to work at most places, right? So how is everyone treating him like he just learned how to tie his shoes? But then, this same adult fails his driving test over 1,000,000 times.
You fail this test over and over. I'm beginning to believe you're simply...
What kind of grown man can't figure out how to not crash into everything that moves? So I'm rewatching old episodes looking for any hint about SpongeBob's actual age when I stumble across Sleepy Time and something catches my eye. SpongeBob's having
a nightmare that he can't wake up from.
This fever dream about driving, which already makes no sense because we know he can't drive to save his life. In the dream, he's questioning whether he even has a license when one just materializes in his hands. Classic dream logic, right? Your brain just makes stuff appear when you need it. He gets excited, immediately crashes, because of course he does, and Mrs. Puff shows up to destroy his dreams, both literally and figuratively.
Not even in your dreams, Mr. Squarepants.
But here's where it gets weird. I pause on that license scene, and there it is, clear as day, July 14th, 1986. My first instinct was to dismiss it because dreams are notorious for getting details wrong. Your subconscious scrambles information and spits out these weird hybrid versions of reality. But then I find another episode that changes everything. No free rides. SpongeBob's taking what Mrs. Puff desperately hopes will be his final boating exam ever. He proceeds to cause more destruction than a Category 5 hurricane, somehow.
Jeez. I'm starting to think SpongeBob just doesn't want his license.
Scoring negative points on a test where 0 should be the minimum.
600.
Mrs. Puff, in what can only be described as a complete mental breakdown disguised as teaching, gives him extra credit.
Let's write a 10-word sentence on what you've learned in boating school.
10 words? That's like asking someone to spell their own name. SpongeBob still has a panic attack trying to complete this task, but Mrs. Puff tasks him anyway because she literally cannot survive another year of this torture. And she hands him a real, actual, non-dream driver's license. Same date, July 14th.
Okay, Mrs. Puff is probably having a dream of her own. She won't willingly give anyone a license.
1986. So now we know for absolute certain when SpongeBob was born. But that's only half the puzzle, because knowing when someone was born doesn't tell you how old they are right now. The show premiered in 1999, but that doesn't mean the characters are living in 1999. Shows pull this trick all the time. Air in one decade, set in another. So when exactly is all this underwater chaos supposed to be happening? That's when I found SB-129, and this episode absolutely destroyed my understanding of SpongeBob's world. Squidward's trying to practice clarinet on a Sunday morning. SpongeBob's alarm goes off so loud, it causes Squidward to literally swallow his instrument. Patrick shows up, chaos ensues. Standard SpongeBob episode so far. Squidward gets so fed up, he hides in the Krusty Krab freezer just to escape them, gets locked inside by accident. Then, the French narrator drops this casual bombshell.
2,000 years later.
Squidward wakes up in the future, discovered by Spongetron, this robot descendant of
Who knows? And that could just be a normal Tuesday for somebody in Bikini Bottom.
SpongeBob, and there's a calendar visible in the scene showing March 6th, 4017. Wait, hold up. If Squidward was frozen for exactly 2,000 years and he wakes up in 4017, that means the original episode took place in 2017, not 1999, 2017. So SpongeBob, born in 1986, living in 2017, is 31 years old.
I don't want to grow up. I want cookies and milky.
Yeah, right. How could this guy be 31?
I want a sweater with love in this kitchen.
31 years old, and he acts like he just learned what numbers are. This is where my research took a turn into territory I wasn't expecting. Real sponges don't age like humans at all. They don't have organs like hearts or brains. They're basically just collections of cells working together to filter water for food. They're more plant than animal in terms of how they function. And here's the part that melted my brain. Sponges can live for thousands of years. Deep sea sponges exist in these stable, cold environments where they grow incredibly slowly and can survive for centuries. There's one sponge scientists think is over.
But this is SpongeBob we're talking about, so who cares about science? It's basically just cartoon logic at this point.
Over 11,000 years old. 11,000 years. Humans are lucky to hit 80. What if SpongeBob ages slower than everyone else in Bikini Bottom? What if 31 human years is like being a kindergartner in sponge development time? That would explain literally everything. Why he acts childlike, why everyone treats him like a kid, why he can't master basic adult skills like not crashing.
Sorry about that.
Into everything that exists. Biologically speaking, SpongeBob might genuinely be in early childhood according to his species, even though he's been alive for 3 decades in regular time. But here's what's really messing with my head. The show's creators probably never intended for this level of analysis. They just wanted to make a cartoon about a happy sponge who flips burgers underwater. But by making him act childlike while giving him adult responsibilities, they accidentally created this perfect character who exists in a space between childhood and adulthood that most of us can relate to. SpongeBob gets to work and be independent, but he also gets to maintain that pure joy and wonder that most adults lose somewhere along the way. He's living the dream we all secretly want, adult freedom with childhood happiness. This means everyone in Bikini Bottom who treats him like a kid isn't being condescending, they're being accurate. From their perspective, they're literally dealing with a toddler who happens to be tall enough to reach the grill. And that million failed driving tests makes perfect sense now. You wouldn't let a 5-year-old drive a car, and in sponge development terms, that's exactly what SpongeBob is. 25 years later, and we're still trying to solve the mysteries of a cartoon that was supposed to be simple entertainment. The creators turned a basic animated series into this decades-long puzzle where fans analyze every frame looking for hidden meanings that probably don't exist. They
So basically, the, the show basically became a conspiracy theory that people can go crazy over. Whoa.
made us conspiracy theorists over a talking sponge's driver's license. And honestly, it's brilliant. They created a character so perfectly balanced between adult and child that we're still trying to figure out what that balance means. SpongeBob represents something we all want, but can never have: the ability to handle adult responsibilities while maintaining the pure joy of childhood. Or maybe I've completely lost my mind analyzing cartoons and need to find a hobby. But after all this research, one thing is clear: nothing about SpongeBob SquarePants is as simple as it seems on the surface. And that 31-year-old child mystery might be the most accidentally genius character design in animation history.
Well, that's it. That was kind of sudden. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.
ポンチ
ああ、そうだ。